Welcome back to Lost Shinjuku and Metaphor ReFantazio. I think I'll keep the Etrian Odyssey outfits on for this. So last time, we basically did what the bare minimum that we need to do to advance to the end of the dungeon here. So if you go down that elevator marked on our map here, you will be in the final part of this dungeon. However, there is actually a heck of a lot more to this place. Also, yeah, I love how the birds just fly through the window there. There is a heck of a lot more of this place that we could potentially explore that will be easy to do so now we've dealt with all of the FOEs. And that's what I'll be covering right now. So, we'll go down these stairs, and I have a lot that I want to talk about here. And so, even though this is technically going to be a side content part, but I like to show all of every dungeon. But I hope that people watch this because it's going to be the side of an important discussion. Now, first things first though, I need to actually remember to inherit Dekaja onto Juno. I won't need it just yet, but, like, I want to have that in my back pocket, in case it's necessary. So, we're up in the north area of the Steel Rendezvous. And my aim is to pretty much completely clear out this area, and also, there is another area below this, that is called, the Ghost Town of Dreams. Such a great area name. Are these? Okay, these aren't field killable. Good to know. And once again, Hulkenberg out-hires me in because I need Gunner for this, but like, yeah. As I was saying in the last part, I do not like Gunner Heisme. His attack power is just too low. I've just been really spoiled by Gunner Will. Just having, like, just insane damage on his piercing attacks. Okay, now I can actually use free juggling. Yeah, it can crit because it is physical almighty. So, I asked people in the comments, why do you think that Metaphor just didn't, like, wasn't just, like, it was successful. I'm not saying that Metaphor was a complete flop. That's not true at all. But it just didn't reach the heights of Persona, especially. And it was probably trying to. Because they were definitely trying to create a game that Persona fans would want to play. Switching you back over to Wizard because I think we need Ice here. And the problem with Masked Dancer is that you have to keep swapping back and forth between your old items. Oh, you're still on fire. Also, forgive me if my thoughts are a little bit disjointed. I haven't scripted this or anything. But, like, you could make an entire podcast on this kind of thing. Like I did talk about earlier that, the video from, that one guy about how, I mean, in fact, you know what, maybe that's a good place to start, that video. So, that video, was called The Best Game No One Cares About. And it was about how... and it was about... And in that one, he theorized why, he feels that Metaphor, despite being... Because the thing with Metaphor, and I think, like, yeah, it didn't flop, and yeah, I shouldn't feel that bad about how well the game did. Like everybody I know who liked this game really liked it. Like, in a way, that's probably, you know, that's probably enough. But it's just that Atlas clearly put their heart and soul into this game. Like, the one area of this game that I feel is unpolished is the translation of, like, skill descriptions and skill names. The translation of the main story is near flawless. And, like, the writing is incredible, but they clearly focused almost entirely on that, and they definitely only did, like, a first pass of some of the battle skill names and the like. So yeah, that's one of the few areas of this game that I do feel is unpolished. Now, I should mention, there are normally FOEs roaming these areas. That's kind of why you have these switch puzzles to deal with. But because there aren't, because I've already dealt with those, they're going to be a lot easier to explore. Does that... I think that does more damage in the front row. Okay, I've been using that wrong this whole time. Good to realize that now. Okay, I'll have to do one more fight before I can totally conclude that that's what's happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is indeed what is happening. But yeah, this game has massive dodge.
We have yet to defeat them all.
Okay, hang on. I'll let you explode first. Can you make your way? Nope, you can't get through this door. Sucks to be you then.
Let's settle this quick. I have you.
So yeah, here we go. Even Jester can change the course of history. Yeah, that does do more damage in the front row. That makes it even easier to avoid spending MP. It's not the best option against bosses, but against normal encounters it's good.
To ever greater heights.
So, back to what I was saying. Let's dodge around you. His theory in this video was that the game kind of lacks... the game was a victim of circumstances when it comes to people's preconceived biases with Persona. As in, people went to this game expecting something like Persona, and they expected this game to have, like, the kind of same highs and lows as a Persona game would, when in fact, I've said it before, like in this playthrough at the very start, this game is superficially similar to Persona, but only on a very surface level. And I think, in a way, that's kind of where the problem lies, because I sum this up as Metaphor is kind of... It's too Persona for Atlas fans who wanted something different. Because a lot of Atlas fans are very burnt out about Persona. Yeah, that's always annoying when that happens. The lock-on can be... Okay, that's one other thing that may be a little unpolished about this game. The fact that the lock-on can sometimes target things that you didn't stun. Usually it's only if you're very far away from the enemy that you stun, though. Because normally the squad triangle option... Normally the squad triangle option appears there right as the enemy gets stunned, like that. Oh, that's funny. The mage weapon is strike element, so you can actually get effectiveness damage that way. It's not stunned anymore, though, so this could be problematic. Oh, that's not good. At least the dodge there is good, though. Well, I had enough press turns for free juggling. May as well use it. So yeah, my ultimate description of this game is that it is too Persona for Atlas fans who are experiencing Persona 5 fatigue, but it's not Persona enough for normies. And I feel like that explains quite a lot about why this game was received the way that it was, because even though this game has the superficial trappings of Persona, a lot of the things that make Persona appealing to casual audiences are not in this game. One, the real-world setting. I do think that's very important. I was actually talking about this with someone, and so the thing about the real world, I think I may have actually mentioned this before. Like, a real world setting has a major advantage with any kind of audience, because it means they don't have to do like the heavy lifting with their brains to kind of figure out all the world building, and it means that they can freely apply their own lived experiences to the story. And Metaphor is a story that is very much about very real things. That's why it's called Metaphor. Even though it's a fantasy world, it's dealing with very real problems, like racism, like class inequality, like wealth, like corruption in power, prejudice in the justice system. Like with Hulkenberg's whole, confidant, like, they're knights, sure. They have that whole medieval knight trapping, but it's very much the same kind of logic as a corrupt justice or police system in a way. So you have that as well. But for some reason, not everyone can grasp metaphors that well. Some people like things to be literal, and I feel like Persona 5, I've been thinking, and Persona 5 definitely has the advantage in that department. Persona 5 is also about reforming a corrupt society, but I think it does two things that Metaphor does not that maybe makes it a little more appealing to mainstreamers. One of them is, again, it is set in the real world, so people can very obviously relate their real-life experiences to it. Okay, now we're talking. Should have been doing that from the beginning, being in the front row with free juggling. It's just that, like the normal weapon of the Faker archetype is range, so I thought free juggling would count as range. I mean, juggling and throwing things, but no. But yeah, the video that I shouted out talks about how high school is a universal experience to most people. Like, even if you didn't go to high school, and I'm just quoting video verbatim right now, even if you didn't go to high school, you almost certainly know somebody who did. So you can relate to that. And I think the other thing that Persona 5 has going for it is that in Persona 5, you are directly challenging people, corrupt people in power. Like, they are the bosses of the game. Whereas in Metaphor, you are tackling corruption in society, but via the way of trying to deal with things at more of a grassroots level. I'm not even sure if I'm using that expression correctly. But in the way of more of a direct, kind of like community outreach program kind of thing. And even though we do end up coming into conflict with people in power, like Luis, like people in power who are corrupt, like Luis or Martira's leader, Lady Joanna, the thing with Joanna is, we exposed her by complete coincidence. We didn't go in with the intent to dethrone the, like, essentially mayor of our region. We didn't know that she was feeding people to a monster. We just came to track down a criminal who was kidnapping children, and ended up discovering by coincidence that a good person was being framed, and that the actual authority in the town was the one responsible. And we ended up exposing all that, but we never really set out to expose that from the beginning, whereas in Persona 5, it is straight up, look at Kamoshida, he is a teacher who's abusing his power. We are gonna directly enter his mind and fight the literal manifestation of his corruption. Like Persona games, the thing that I like about Persona games is,
our foes have fallen. We are safe for the time being.
A lot of people, the same way they don't see the real world parallels in this game, I do feel like this game is it's a very subtle game. It's a more subtle game than many people would expect, with the kind of message that it has. But that's a conversation for later. But I'm the kind of person who doesn't just see the real world parallels in Metaphor, I also see the metaphors in Persona, which is something that I do feel, that's why I love doing my playthroughs in this channel, because a lot of the psychological symbolism of Persona is an aspect that I don't really see discussed, because so many people just look at it and just see the life sim, they just see the real world stuff, they just see wake up, go to school, do cool things, make friends, fall in love. And not like, wow, this series is actually super deep about real psychological issues.
I have never known.
Marvelous.
Like the various, 7 deadly sin bosses that the, palace rulers turn into, all of those are extremely symbolic. They very much represent the kind of mentalities that lead to that kind of corruption in power.
Let's take it with us.
Meanwhile, Metaphor itself is a bit more obvious with that kind of thing, with Luisa's ideology and all that, and yet it doesn't have that real-world basis, but yet that's a thing that's just so much more relatable to a lot of people. And I don't know if it's because... So here's the thing. I have spent most of my life relating, like, seeing relatability in fictional worlds. And in a way, seeing more relatability in fictional worlds than in real ones. And I get the sense that that is very much an autism thing.
No problem.
This is bad.
Okay, it's yellow. It's not blue, it's yellow. Gotta remember that. Oh, frick. You know what? I think I'll try and avoid that if I can. Those may be famous last words, but I can duck in here to get this treasure chest. Yeah, even if these areas are optional, I want to grab every treasure. But yeah, as I was saying... Oh, so close to Stroll getting General. Actually pretty close to highest getting Sniper too. Yeah, level 1 archetype, tier 1 archetypes do rank up pretty quickly at this point in the game. But like one of the things that I really connected with when it came to like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is the fact that even though it's a totally full-on high fantasy world, the characters had very real struggles. Things like self-esteem, bullying, advancing their careers, figuring out their purpose in life. Like, that was a big thing with Twilight.
Avoid this fight. Stand ready.
And similarly to why I got so into Sonic lately is I do find the cast of the Sonic games super relatable. I feel like I often relate more to fantasy worlds and non-human characters than I do to actual human characters in real-world situations. Yeah, so the city sank to the depths of the earth. Heisme is just putting words in my mouth. It's what caused the city to sink underground.
No.
Yeah, it sounds more man-made than natural. Medical, let's go away. But yeah, that is one aspect of that video that I do think I agree with, that Persona does have that air of relatability. And also, with that relatability, I believe, when it comes to, like, real-world settings, also comes fanfiction. I feel like in a world that's based on reality, it is so much easier to write fanfiction. And when a work has a huge fanfiction and fan art scene, that is what really propels it into the mainstream. Like, for example, Fire Emblem Three Houses has an enormous fanfiction and fan art scene. And even though that game does have it is a medieval fantasy, it also has the Academy, which has that school relatability to it. And honestly, I feel like that's part of the reason why it has such a thriving fanfiction scene. Now, we interrupt this tangent for Stroll gets General, which means we'll actually have some ice skills to use against the snakes.
Yeah.
And of course, the more people in the commander line, the better, because this one has a synthesis skill that is, it's on there. I'm not going to spoil what it does yet, but it's very much a crazy, crazy thing. Actually, I wouldn't mind carrying Fiery Strike into things like Warrior, because it is physical. So yes, now we head down to a floor that I don't think we've actually touched yet, and I don't even think you need to go to this floor ever. This is the Ghost Town of Dreams. It's not quite as big as the other floors, but oh boy, okay, yeah, these are actually quite dangerous enemies. Okay, we want Strike, Dark, and Slash. Let's just use a couple of Leaves of Light on Stroll's General, just to get him a little bit of the way there. 5 Heroes Fruit too. Let's put those into a little bit of Wizard, a little bit of Masked Dancer, and a lot of Faker, because she'll need that. And that's like nothing. That can just all go into Faker. And one more luck on Will to make up for missing the toilet earlier. Heisme back to Assassin, because I'm gonna need Dark. Hang on, do I have a Thief Mask? I do. Ah, and it gives me Mudo on. Excellent.
There they are.
So this should work decently. So I believe some of these are also based off of Hieronymus Bosch paintings. This is like some kind of a weird nun-dressed egg cooker. But it's weak to slash and electric, and it reflects wind. It also has this attack. It's a rare instance where enemies can inflict weaknesses on you. And then we have Homo Physic, the Golden Eggman. It's weak to Dark and Strike. So for that, let us assassinate it. Aha! We have the master plan now, Eggman! And then let's go, I'm not used to only tier 1 warrior. Let's show how terrible Junior is at physical attacking. I mean, that was better than many.
In the name of closing the distance. Let's make an end of it.
I have to. Yep, dead. Deader than the deadest of dead. Thank you, Peerless Stonecleaver. I haven't used Peerless Stonecleaver in a while, so I had to get that out of my system.
It feels good to get stronger.
I do think Stroll might need a Secretest of Secrets, though. Or just a Sweeter Than Poison. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
I don't see any more. I think we're safe.
Don't see any more minus this Eggman here. I wonder if anything that is weak to dark has a higher chance of being insta-killed, because it almost feels like it. Oh, the Dancer fans are actually Slash. I guess it's easy to not know that because of just how, just because of, like, how rarely you use the normal attack of Dancer, but still. Well, sadly, this thing is not a tree. As much as it is green and tall, I don't even know if those things are meant to be like eggs or like watermelons, or, I mean, if considering it's a Hieronymus Bosch monster, they're probably human heads, but yeah. There's also an elevator in this section. But yeah, going down here we grab this, so... Oh yes, right, the subject of fanfiction. So, this is about the point where I have to... It's sad that I have to say this, but I have to preface saying this with, I don't condone J.K. Rowling's political views. Because, yeah, that whole thing happened. So I believe this lift's actually broken until you activate it below. So now we have a shortcut down to this floor that we don't actually need to go to, but still. But, like, I feel like Harry Potter is another example of something that is urban fantasy like Persona, and because of that, it gained a very thriving fanfiction scene. And the fanfiction scene really helped it gain mainstream appeal, because, like, there was fanfiction for that everywhere back in the day. And I do just genuinely feel like Persona has that advantage too, and Metaphor doesn't really. I've mentioned a few times that Metaphor just doesn't really have... But yeah, Metaphor just doesn't really have a whole lot of fanfiction compared to many other things, I keep saying. But of course, segue time. The other reason I don't think it has a lot of fanfiction is the reason why many people that I in the comments said is probably why Metaphor also lacked mainstream appeal, and that is the lack of romance. So it is really sad to me, but waifus do sell games. It's gold homotenters. And they aren't field killable. Okay, I remember you guys. Level 40, they do drop the golden gauntlets, which I can try and steal. Didn't work. Oh, they resist everything, so Almighty is kind of your best option against them. Or just really overpowering them with big AoE damage. Or fixed damage, that works too, like this. Actually, Plunder Magic might not be a bad idea in this dungeon. It doesn't give you back a lot, though. I'd rather go with a full-on mage, run with Mage Will. Luckily, they are still stunned. Yeah, I'm showing this fight in full because these are new. Oh, Homo Tenta, would you like to be stolen from? Okay, there we go. We got the golden gauntlets. Round slash. There we go. I think I will switch back to Faker just for them, though. They're not, like, exactly that common. They also give a lot of money, so you'll want to Unscathed Triumph them. They are worth quite a bit, if you do. Okay, Mass Revelry. Ah, okay, MP Recovery. And, yeah, if you want emergency MP Recovery, just go into an easy battle and just idle for a while, with Juna. And, oh, you guys. Well, I was just thinking that I need to switch Will back into something. Golden Gauntlets, luck +5, that makes sense. I think that means Hulkenberg back in. And maybe I'll stay on Stroll, because we do want Pierce attacks here, so this is yet another reason why I really like having Gunner on Will, because remember when I said anything that looks like it doesn't like getting poked in the eye is probably weak to Pierce? That is this thing, the Cyocro, aka a Cyclops. If you leave them alive, these things can actually use, I don't think it's listed here, but they can actually use, like, the soul screen to give themselves more press turns. Oh, but they have Evil Eye Talisman as a stealable. Oh, okay. Okay, good, it's dead. So Pierce spam is how you want to deal with them. But stealing from them is also excellent. Yeah, we didn't get the Evil Eye Talisman. Because the Evil Eye Talisman is debilitate in a can. So, let's give you Steel. I mean, I do really like that archetypal ring. I'll probably get the Steel eventually. And of course, I forget to Steal that time. So yeah, I've already talked at length about my thoughts on the lack of romance in Metaphor. It really doesn't bother me, but it seems like a lot of mainstream gamers just... there has to be a waifu element to the game. Like, that's what sells games for people. Oh, right, okay, so if I hadn't actually beaten the boss FOE here, this is meant to be like a thing about, oh no, there's an FOE right behind this door, but I've already dealt with them, so yeah. Weathered paper. Too late, regrets, future, no more. Slumbered in lance, someday in rightful hands. Well, I mean, I do feel like you for a will would be the right hands. So into here we go, let's take these guys out on the field. It's like, there's really not much more that I can say, it's just that like, a lot of people just need that romance element. I don't really know what it is, and why it is that that's not necessarily a draw for me. Okay, our first time seeing what the egg can do. Oh yeah, light breath, that's the AoE damage skills are always kind of a pain.
Looks like that's all of them. Great job, everybody.
Another reason could be the opposite of Persona Burnout. Sometimes, whenever Atlus announces anything new, the Atlus fans are all like, yeah, that looks fine, but where's Persona 6? That could have also impacted Metaphor's notability. But the lack of romance options also means a lack of fanfiction, but what it also means is a lack of things for the fan base to argue about. And that was a comment that I got on that video that I found really interesting, that like I didn't really even think about, and that is that maybe the reason why Metaphor didn't make such a big splash with online circles is because it wasn't discourse-worthy. The game didn't really have any, like, particularly huge controversies or things the fans argue about. And that's normally a really good thing. But, you know, as they say, any publicity is good publicity. And it is true that games like, for example, Fire Emblem Three Houses, obviously, has a massive amount of discourse surrounding its various routes and which one is the quote-unquote correct one. Persona not only has debate about who is best girl, quote-unquote, but also there are a lot of very controversial scenes in Persona that draw attention, like the hot spring scene, or the girls beating up Ryuji scene. And this may not be positive attention, but it's still attention. And that attention may be what is needed to get more eyes on the game.
What?
Because, like, it's kind of a testament to this game that I don't really think there's anything in its story that has been especially controversial. Oh yeah, this room normally is actually like a avoid the FOE puzzle, but, well, we've already avoided the FOEs forever, so, yeah. Like, if you just kind of follow the main plot, it's quite easy to just get rid of the FOEs easily. How close is Heismei to maxing out gun? He still has a little bit to go. Also, I think Stroll should be leveling General a little bit while we're on field killable enemies right now. Because, like, nothing in Metaphor, and that's the thing, because Metaphor is a highly political story, but perhaps it would have got the kind of controversy and discourse that would have drawn more eyes if they had given you the option to side with Luis. So, something that you can also try and do against the Cyclopses is steal from them and then run, and then go back and steal from them again. And hopefully they're still stunned, so you get the free escape. Okay, I think I'll only do that twice. But let us continue. Oh, I think I know what that is. Oh, no, it's an egg. That's fine. I'm just gonna avoid the egg. Just because... Don't really want to bother with that right now.
Just take it. You can always toss it.
Aha! The teeth are field killable now. And field killable means that you can field kill them and get massive amounts of gold. Like, we are not going to be lacking in money after this trip is over. Not at all. Especially since we're going to go to a village that has ridiculously expensive stuff soon. But yeah, like, and it's another aspect where, like, this game's kind of perfect for me. Because, like, I don't like discourse, I don't like root splits, and I was, like, when I first saw that trailer about all of the, like, candidates in the game, the moment that I saw, like, Forden and Luis, the moment they're like, Luis believes in true meritocracy in a world where the people can rise and fall, I'm like, no, 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 we're not doing this again, are we? Like, that already turned, like, Fire Emblem 3 Houses was one thing, but that already turned me off, triangle strategy. Like, why is it the Japanese media is so obsessed with having, there are two options. One, brutal religious oppression, or brutal meritocracy, survival of the fittest, screw all the disabled people, and stuff like that. And it's just, like... I mean, they don't literally say it's through the disabled people, but I'm saying the quiet part out loud. I fully intend to talk about how ableist Luis's ideology is later on, but, like, it's just a thing. It's like, why is it that your options are always either, like, the absolute worst stereotypes of Abrahamic religions, or, like, your only other option is Luis, basically. Because, like, I think it's a false equivalence. Okay, now I'm fully getting into some discussions that I will have to have later and not now, because, they are definitely endgame kinds of discussions. Very, very, very endgame. As you can see, we're back in the Steel Rendezvous. Okay, that's a magma crystal, that isn't a, oh, the Manticore's right behind me, isn't it? No, it's the flower, but still, it is right behind me. That was a very painful hit. That thing was just about to attack me. I'm gonna I'm gonna use a medicine, not a blue cheese. Don't kill me, please. Oh, well, the Manticore is there. Let's get out of here right now. Hi, Snake. Bye, Snake.
That was brilliant.
Goodbye. I was about to say see ya, wouldn't want to be ya, but, like... Weird story from my childhood. That expression always, like, actually, like, makes me very, very, depressed and terrified, because, in Land 4 Time 2, that's what one of the bullies says right before nearly dropping the protagonist off a cliff to his death. Like, that is seriously hardcore for a kid's movie. That's Land 4 Time 2, by the way. I saw every Land 4 Time up until 7. So, yeah, that's a thing. Yes, I'm going kind of a little wildly off topic right now, but, yeah, that's another theory of mine as to why again, Metaphor might not be hitting to a lot of people. Also, this is the area where, so this is the place where if I had proceeded further forward, I would have run into that wall and I wouldn't have been able to progress any further.
I can feel my power growing.
One other thing that many bring up is that people have been so burned by Atlus's habit of doing updated re-releases of games that many just decided to skip buying this, thinking that it would get a re-release later. I addressed this back in episode 2 during the Homogorolo fight. I feel like Atlus is well aware of this in interviews, and they are probably done with that for now. They did DLC instead of a re-release for Persona 3 Reload, and I feel like that's gonna be the norm going forward.
No.
Right there.
Alright, also Haizme's maxed out gunner, so we can put him in sniper now. Except he needs a tiny bit more of Seeker. But I do have a Leaf of Light that I can just use to just get that Seeker rank.
I see.
Because I sort of want to take care of this a little bit in advance before I hit Ninja, because I really want Hazme and Ninja, but that needs Sniper, which also needs Seeker. Oh, you get to see them in the costumes even on this screen, which means you get to see shirtless Hazme in all his glory. Here is the problem. Hazme eventually needs Magic Knight, which means he eventually needs Mage.
I see. Fast.
And as much, actually, Mage Hazme is not like, I feel not as bad as Gunner Hazme. I mean, Gunner Hazme is good for setting up weaknesses with Mania Bullet, but that's really the only thing he's good for. Oh, that is nice.
My power swells forth.
I believe, like, one of Hazme's quotes for switching to Mage is actually really cool, but first, I'm just gonna shove some Leaves of Light into Mage, because I really do not want to raise Mage on Hazme any more than I have to. I can talk about that too, but that's a topic that I do want to talk about deeper into this dungeon when we're more into the territory of, like,
I think there's
no mimic, that's fine. Into the territory of, like, actual required gameplay, like, required story stuff of this dungeon, because, like, can you believe it? Like, basically this entire second half of Steel Rendezvous has been totally optional. So let's head back into the Ghost Town of Dreams. Oh, there is more of this floor that I haven't explored yet. Oh, there's a teeth there. Oh yeah, and these things do have a long-range attack of wind that you want to be careful of, but I need to kill the teeth without drawing the attention of the human. So as I make my way to the door here, and I think I'll leave the rest of this floor for next time.
Stay on your guard.
What now? See the end.
How's do it?
Woo, not too shabby.
So, I hope you've enjoyed this sort of rambling tangent on my thoughts on Metaphor's lack of mainstream appeal. Okay, wait. There's actually not much beyond this, so I may as well finish, go through here and then end the video. So, I guess to allude to what I'm getting at, though, I will say that I feel that Persona 5 was simultaneously the best and worst thing that happened to Atlas. Because Persona 5 was the first Persona game, or even the first game in Atlas's library, to even, like, super make it in the mainstream. But it was also very much lightning in the bottle. I don't think there will ever be another Persona 5.
I see the end.
And Persona 5 succeeded with the mainstream by virtue, by absolute virtue. That's the name of like a boss and something, isn't it? By the absolute virtue of being Persona 5. Like, its flashy UI, which they definitely tried to replicate in this game. Its flashy art style, its really fast-paced battles, the charismatic Phantom Thief style of the protagonist. I'll be advancing Hulkenberg's archetype to the next tier in the next video. And the themes of reforming society, but in a very bold, dramatic way that was kind of easily digestible to a lot of people. More so than Metaphor's more boots-on-the-ground, grassroots community outreach approach. Because that's basically what... Like, I think that Will, the protagonist of Metaphor, is one of the best examples of, like, an actual political activist in media. So needles adorned with ancient numerals pointing towards them? Yeah, that sounds like a watch to me. And while I'm here, one more thing as well that I only just realized that I also need to talk about is that the marketing for this game. So, for some reason,
I see the end.
Atlas had some kind of a deal with Microsoft. I need better archetypes to take you out. Really, I just need Assassin. The marketing was, like, very insistent on trying to make this game look like it was an Xbox exclusive when it wasn't.
Play it on Xbox Series X and S.
Like many people didn't know that it would come out, or that the game would eventually, well, not eventually, the game just in general was on, at launch, was on PlayStation and on PC. But actually, no, Atlas was insistent on only marketing it towards the Xbox, and the Xbox does not have a very big install base for JRPG fans. And that, I feel, is another reason why Metaphor might not have reached the audiences that it really could have. So, like, Microsoft must have paid them a ton of money. And I feel like Atlas needs to really question if that was worth it, because, I mean, I don't know if the sales they may have made from PlayStation owners would have recouped that, but, like, legitimately, I saw people in the comment sections of those trailers really confused. They're like, is this Xbox exclusive? Can I play this on PlayStation? Also, it's not available on Switch yet. Hopefully it comes to Switch 2 one day. It'll probably be a game keycard, but, like, I mean, I don't normally like supporting game keycards, but let's be honest. If there's any game I'd get, even if it was a game keycard, it's this game. And hey, Portable Metaphor would be really nice. So maybe this game will come to Switch 2 one day and get some kind of a resurgence? Oh, I'm missing an item up there, and I can only get there via the long way. Okay, we're back here. I suppose to keep all my thoughts contained to one video, I can also mention the Frenchman in the room, Claire Obscure. So, another thing that some people theorized in the comments of that other video was that Metaphor was hailed as the next big innovation in JRPGs. Was like hypercritically acclaimed, and then not even 6 months later, Claire Obscure came out and completely took that title, but it also didn't have an anime art style, and like, this is the thing that I find kind of weird. People say like, oh, the reason why Claire Obscure did better is because it had more of a AAA realistic art style. Like, Fire Emblem Three Houses had an anime art style too, and that game was a mega smash hit, at least by RPG standards. So, I don't know if that's true. But what I do think is true is that many mainstream fans who really only play the hottest, most trending games, they very quickly had a new trending game to move on to. And that is very sad, but Claire Obscure did have a lot more to it that made it more appealing to mainstreamers. It had a more realistic art style. It was, another thing that makes me really sad, it was not made by a Japanese studio, because a lot of people just straight up hate JRPGs on principle, but they'll play a game that is heavily influenced by JRPGs just as long as it was not made by Japanese people. And it had more easily digestible themes that were a little more universal about grief rather than politics. But it also had one more thing. And that's the thing that I want to talk about next time. So, I'll see you all then for the final part of Dragon Grace Shinjuku.